So you're a new EMT. Welcome to the world of EMS, where the coffee is cold, the paperwork is hot, and your patient's story will never match what dispatch told you. So, you passed your EMT class and got your shiny new certification? Congratulations. You now know just enough to be dangerous. But don't worry, we're here to guide you through your first steps so you don't accidentally intubate someone's sandwich. The world of EMS is wild, unpredictable, and occasionally smells like feet. But it's also one of the most rewarding, hilarious, and downright humbling rides you'll ever be on. Let's get one thing straight. Nobody expects you to know everything. In fact, if you do act like you know everything, your partner will lovingly hand you the heaviest bag, every shift forever. Ask questions. Ask them again. Ask them even if you think they're dumb, because a dumb question now can prevent a really dumb mistake later, like mixing up nitro spray and Afrin. You'll quickly learn the difference between textbook patients and real patients. Textbook patients say, "I have crushing chest pain radiating to my left arm." Real patients say, "My elbow hurts and also I feel like I'm dying, but only when I eat pickles." That's okay. Roll with it, do your assessment, and act like you've done this 100 times before, even if you're still figuring out how to open the blood pressure cuff. Pro tip: keep snacks, dry socks, and at least 3 pens on you at all times. Also, get to know the ambulance like it's your second home, because it kind of is now. Finally, remember this: you are the calm in someone's chaos. You are the help that shows up when nobody else knows what to do.
You're not on fire, Ricky Bobby!
I'm on fire! You're not on fire!
Know your protocols, also known as how not to accidentally commit a felony on scene. Alright, newbie, let's talk about protocols. You know that big binder or PDF file you swore you'd read after getting your EMT card? Yeah, it's time to actually read it. Your local and state protocols are basically the spell book of EMS. If you don't know what magic you're legally allowed to cast, you might end up trying to assist ventilations on a patient who just needed a snack and a blanket. Protocols vary wildly by location. In one county, you can start an IV on a raccoon, please don't. While in the next county over, you can't even hand someone a Tylenol without getting written up. So make reviewing your protocols a weekly habit. It's like your favorite TV show, dramatic, occasionally confusing, and full of plot twists. Next, let's clear up a big one: your scope of practice. Just because your paramedic partner can push meds doesn't mean you can too. You are not a discount doctor. You're an EMT, and that's already a big deal. Stick to your scope, and don't try to MacGyver treatments. If your idea involves duct tape and epinephrine, take a deep breath and phone a friend. And please, if you're confused, ask questions. EMS culture loves to joke around, but when it comes to patient care, no one wants you guessing. Whether it's protocols, documentation, or why the suction isn't working, hint, check the cap, ask. You'll earn respect faster by being honest than pretending to know and crashing the whole call. Bottom line, know your playbook, stay in bounds, and speak up when in doubt. Your patients and your medical director will thank you. Get to know your equipment, aka how not to become a walking liability. Picture this: you roll up to your very first cardiac arrest, adrenaline pumping, your partner tosses you the AED, and you stare at it like it's an alien artifact. Don't be that EMT. If your only exposure to EMS equipment was during class, where everything was neatly labeled, sparkling clean, and worked the first time, you're in for a rude awakening.
Are they breathing?
No, Rose. They are not breathing, and they have no arms or legs.
Start by familiarizing yourself with everything on your rig. Open every compartment like it's a mystery box from Amazon. What's in the orange bag? Why are there 5 kinds of tape? You don't want to discover you've been using the OB kit as a lunchbox 3 weeks into the job. Next, every shift. Yes, every shift. Check your bag and monitor. One day you'll thank yourself when the only BP cuff that fits isn't missing, the suction isn't dead, and the glucometer actually has test strips. Nothing makes you look greener than fumbling for equipment you should have checked 12 hours ago while your medic glares at you over a crashing patient. And here's a life hack. Practice setting up gear when it's slow. Pop open in 4 kit, ask first. Hook up an oxygen tank. Run through placing pads on a mannequin. The time to learn how to work the AED is not when it's screaming, analyzing, and grandma's on the floor. In short, Know your tools like they're your weird extended family. You may not love them all, but you need to know where they are and what they do. EMS is 50% skill, 50% preparation, and 100% chaos. Make sure your gear isn't part of the chaos. Build good habits early. aka, how to not be that EMT everyone warns the newbies about. First rule of EMS life: be on time. Every single time. If your shift starts at 0700, that doesn't mean roll in at 0700 with a half-eaten breakfast burrito and a vague apology. It means your boots are on, your gear is checked, and your caffeine is halfway consumed by 0659. EMS runs on time like it runs on oxygen and sarcasm. So unless you want to earn the nickname Late Larry, show up early, stay sharp, and keep your crew happy. Now let's talk documentation, the part of EMS that nobody puts on a recruiting poster. But here's the deal. If it's not documented, it didn't happen. You could deliver a baby, defibrillate 3 times, and perform CPR while juggling. But if you don't write it down, legally you might as well have just handed out a Band-Aid and left. Be thorough, objective, and timely. Bonus points if your spelling doesn't require a translator. And finally, your workspace matters. Your rig isn't just a truck, it's your office, your lunchroom, and sometimes your therapy den after a rough call. Treat it with respect. Wipe things down, restock after calls, and keep the cab cleaner than a college kid's dorm. Low bar, we know. No one wants to reach for the monitor and instead grab a half-eaten granola bar from last week. Remember, good habits are like seatbelts. They're easy to ignore until everything goes sideways. So be reliable, be professional, and take pride in the little things. They're what make you a partner people can trust. And that's gold in this line of work. Learn from your partner, or as it's sometimes called, mentored by medics and roasted by veterans. Congratulations, rookie. You've just been assigned a partner who's been doing this longer than you've been alive. That might sound intimidating, but it's also a golden opportunity. Experienced EMTs and medics can teach you more in one shift than a whole semester of class ever could, and they'll do it while eating a gas station burrito with one hand and running a call with the other.
We've got a new guy coming on the rig.
I hear he's an ex-Navy SEAL.
I heard that you were with the Navy SEALs.
Navy? No, Easter SEAL. I volunteered.
Learn from your partner, or as it's sometimes called, mentored by medics and roasted by veterans. Congratulations, rookie. You've just been assigned a partner who's been doing this longer than you've been alive. That might sound intimidating, but it's also a golden opportunity. Experienced EMTs and medics can teach you more in one shift than a whole semester of class ever could, and they'll do it while eating a gas station burrito with one hand and running a call with the other. Your job: watch everything. Watch how they talk to patients, how they position themselves in a cramped living room, how they magically find the vein in one try while you're sweating bullets with a BP cuff. There's an art to this work, and while you're still learning the stick figures, your partner is out here painting masterpieces in the back of a moving truck. Don't just copy what they do, ask why they do it. Why did they give albuterol first instead of CPAP? Why did they say, "Tell me more about that pain," instead of launching into a full assessment? Feedback in EMS isn't always soft and fuzzy. Sometimes it's, "Hey, maybe don't hand me the glucometer upside down during a seizure call." But that feedback will save you next time. And here's the real secret. Most seasoned medics want to teach you. They just want to see that you care enough to listen. Show initiative, be humble, and don't take it personally if they mess with you a little. It's a rite of passage. Bottom line, the back of an ambulance is a classroom on wheels. If you keep your ears open, your ego in check, and your gloves on, you'll learn more from your partner than you ever thought possible. And maybe one day, you'll be the one giving the next rookie the talk, with a coffee in hand and a smirk that says, "You'll figure it out."
213, I'm clear. Bye, I love you.
Master communication, or don't sound like you just woke up mid-sentence. In EMS, communication is everything, and I mean everything. If you can't explain what you're doing, why you're doing it, or who you're doing it to, you're going to look like a confused cat with a stethoscope. The good news: you don't have to sound like a Hollywood trauma surgeon. You just need to be calm, clear, and concise. When you're talking to patients, remember, they're likely scared, confused, or in pain, or all three. Tossing medical jargon at them like, we're just going to initiate a rapid trauma assessment and check for JVD while applying high-flow O2 is going to get you blank stares or panicked nods. Try this instead. I'm just checking you from head to toe and making sure you can breathe okay. Boom. Simple. Reassuring. No translations needed. Now let's talk radio reports. Your first time keying the mic will be terrifying. You'll forget your own name, say a 43 times, and possibly call the ER mom. That's fine, just practice. The trick is to hit the highlights. Age, gender, chief complaint, vitals, treatments, ETA. And whatever you do, don't forget to let go of the button. We've all done it. And finally, closed-loop communication. It's not just a buzzword from CPR class. It's the glue that keeps chaotic scenes from becoming full-blown circus acts. When someone says, "Get me the trauma bag," the correct answer is, "I'm getting the trauma bag." Not what? Not huh? Not, "Oh, I thought you meant the suction unit, and now it's on fire." Talk to your partner. Listen to your patient. Confirm instructions. Communicate like everyone's life depends on it, because sometimes it does. Take care of yourself. Also known as you can't save lives if you're falling apart. Look, EMS isn't just a job, it's a lifestyle. And that lifestyle involves 2 a.m. calls, adrenaline spikes, back pain, and more bad coffee than the human body should legally ingest. So let's get something straight. If you want to stick around in this profession, you've got to take care of yourself. First up, eat, sleep, and manage stress. And no, a gas station corn dog doesn't count as a balanced meal. Sure, the shift gets hectic, and the only vegetables available at 3 a.m. are the stale pickles in a snack room sandwich. But do your best. Pack snacks. Drink water. Actual water, not just energy drinks labeled hydration blend. And when you get home, sleep. Real sleep. In a bed. Not a nap hunched in a stair chair between runs. Speaking of runs, some of them are going to hit you hard. Pediatric codes, traumatic scenes that just like my grandpa patients, they linger. Talk to someone. A partner, a counselor, a friend, your dog, anyone who'll listen and help you process it. Bottling that stuff up just makes you a ticking time bomb in uniform. And let's not forget the sacred halls of healing, the EMS snack rooms at hospitals. These magical rooms are stocked with peanut butter crackers, graham cookies, caffeine, and if you're lucky, that one nurse's leftover box lunches from 3 days ago. Use them wisely. They're not just for snacks, they're for survival. EMS eats its young when they don't set boundaries or care for themselves. So don't burn out. Don't go full martyr mode. Take a break, eat the graham crackers, vent when you need to, and remember, your longevity in this field depends just as much on your mental health as it does on your airway skills. Documentation tips, or write like a lawyer is reading it, because one might be. Welcome to the glamorous world of charting. That's right, you thought EMS was all lights and sirens, but surprise. It's also 10% adrenaline and 90% staring at a screen, trying to remember if you documented that the patient actually had a pulse when you got there. Let's get this straight. Your narrative is your shield. One day, someone will pull your report out of a dusty file cabinet or a court record and use it to figure out what happened. So be objective, not emotional. Don't write, "Dude was totally wasted and acting like a drama queen." Write, "Patient presented with slurred speech, unsteady gait, and odor of alcohol on breath." Same person, but one version keeps you employed. Now the holy trinity of charting, vital signs, treatments, and times. Every time you take a BP or give oxygen, it needs a timestamp. O2 applied is useless without knowing when. And no, around 8-ish doesn't count unless your agency runs on vibes instead of clocks. If you pushed a med, started CPR, or transported, document it like you're teaching someone how to do it later. And finally, say it with me now. If it wasn't documented, it wasn't done. You could have saved a life, high-fived a firefighter, and done CPR to the beat of Stayin' Alive. But if your report looks like you just handed out a Band-Aid and vibes, good luck explaining that to QA. Or worst, a lawyer. So take the extra 5 minutes to write it right. Your future self and your patient's medical record will thank you. Keep learning. AKA, your EMT card isn't a finish line, it's a learner's permit. So, you've passed the NREMT, your name's on a shiny license, and you've mastered the fine art of saying scene safe BSI in your sleep. Now what? Now you keep learning, forever. EMS is like your grandma's meatloaf recipe. Just when you think you've got it figured out, someone changes the ingredients and says, "This is the new protocol. Start with CU classes." Yes, I know. Continuing education sounds about as fun as a mandatory meeting about cot straps. But those classes keep you current, certified, and most importantly, competent. And not all CE has to be dry. There are awesome, free resources online, like easyemsceu.com. Shameless plug, I know. Plus great hands-on courses that'll teach you things your textbook never mentioned. Read EMS journals, listen to podcasts, watch videos. Seriously, YouTube is full of gold, from airway management tutorials to paramedics reacting to wild TV calls. It's never been easier to cram education in between snack room trips or while waiting at post 10 for the third hour in a row. And here's an underrated gem. Ask your supervisor for new learning opportunities. Ride-alongs with different crews, trauma training with your local hospital, extra skills practice. The good supervisors want you to grow. Just show you care. And hey, if you're looking for a head start, check out easyemsceu.com for free and premium CEU courses made for EMS professionals by veteran EMS professionals. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for training videos, tips, and the occasional EMS-approved humor. Bottom line, the best EMS providers never stop learning. They ask questions, seek out training, and evolve with the profession. You want to be the provider people trust? Be the one who never stops improving. Because in this job, knowledge isn't just power, it's survival. Be humble and ask for help. AKA you're a rookie, not a know-it-all, and that's okay. Here's the secret no one tells you when you get that shiny EMT card. You're not expected to know everything. Yet. Yes, you have a ton of knowledge, but the real world is a whole different beast. In the field, it's like being a new chef in a Michelin star restaurant. You've read the cookbook, but you're still figuring out how to chop the onions without crying. It's okay. No one expects you to perform miracles from day one. When in doubt, seek guidance. Seriously, don't let your pride get in the way of patient care. No one's going to judge you for asking questions, but they will judge you if you start guessing. If you're unsure about a drug dosage, airway procedure, or protocol, ask a senior EMT or medic. We've all been there, and we'd rather you get it right than guess, and end up explaining yourself to the supervisor. It's better to ask than guess and be wrong. There's no shame in asking. In fact, it shows that you care enough to do things right. Plus, nothing gets respect like admitting you need help and actually asking for it. Everyone in EMS has had their rookie moment. The key is learning from them, improving, and always staying curious. Remember, humility is a strength, not a weakness. And guess what? As long as you ask questions and keep learning, you're well on your way to becoming the expert you're destined to be. Practice good patient care. Or, nobody cares how fast you took a BP if you treated grandma like a speed bump. EMS isn't just about vitals and ventilations. It's about humans helping humans. Yes, your job is to assess, treat, and transport, but don't forget that every patient is a real person. And often they're scared, vulnerable, or confused, and sometimes naked in the middle of the living room holding a cat. True story. Start with this. Be empathetic, not just clinical. That means making eye contact, using a calm voice, and actually listening to the 87-year-old woman explain how this feels like the last time she had a spell. You might know what shortness of breath means in medical terms, but they just know they're scared and can't breathe. Show them you care, not just that you passed a skills test. Treat every patient like a family member, preferably the ones you actually like. Would you roll your eyes at your grandma if she called for chest pain and it turned out to be gas? Okay, maybe you would, but still, do better in uniform. Compassion costs nothing and goes a long way, especially when you're the difference between a terrifying night and a manageable one. And let's not forget, your attitude matters more than you realize. You might be the fifth person to interact with that patient today, but you could be the first one who treated them with dignity. A bad attitude can make people feel worse, and a good one can calm a crisis. In short, be kind, be human, and don't underestimate the power of a reassuring tone, a gentle hand, or simply saying, "You're not alone. We're here to help." That's what makes a great EMT, not just what you do, but how you make people feel while doing it. stay organized, or you can't save lives if you're digging for a BVM in the glove compartment. Let's be honest, the back of an ambulance is like a mobile junk drawer with flashing lights. If you don't stay organized, you'll spend half your shift digging through trauma dressings just to find the BP cuff. That's why organization isn't optional, it's survival. Start with checklists before every shift. I know they're not sexy, but you know what's even less sexy? Realizing mid-code that your suction's dead and the glucometer is missing half its brain. A simple run-through at the start of the day can save you and your patient from some very sweaty explanations later. Plus, nothing screams, I'm a pro, like being able to confidently say, we're good to go. Next, know where everything is in your rig. I mean everything. Not just the trauma bag, but the spare O2 tank, the OB kit. Yes, it's in there. And the weird little drawer where someone keeps extra lancets, a glow stick, and probably a fossilized granola bar from 2007. The moment you hit a hot call, your brain won't have time to play hide and seek with your gear. Finally, have a system for quick access. When your partner says for setup, now, you don't want to toss the whole jump bag at them like it's a piñata full of catheters. Organize your tools, label your compartments, and keep your go-to items up front. A well-packed bag is the EMS version of a superhero utility belt. And trust me, Batman never fumbled around looking for his grappling hook. The most prepared EMTs aren't just smart, they're strategic. Know your gear. Know your layout. And don't wait until the poop hits the fan to realize you're standing there holding an empty saline bag and a tongue depressor. Learn the system. Or, it's not just the medicine, it's the machine. You might be a rock star at taking vitals, starting O2, and delivering top-tier patient care. But if you don't know how your department works, you're going to feel like a medic stuck in a maze with a clipboard and no map. Step 1. Understand your department's workflow. Who do you call when the monitor dies? What's the policy for refusals? Who do you report to if your partner eats all the snack room cookies and blames you? These are things they don't teach in class, but they matter. Each station runs a little differently, so soak up the routine, ask questions, and don't assume you're doing it right just because it worked that way at your clinical ride-along last semester. Know your area, hospitals, and protocols. If you don't know which hospital has a cath lab or who takes psych patients after 7 p.m., you're in for some awkward radio conversations and very annoyed nurses. Learn the names of the ED docs, find the fastest backroads during rush hour, and memorize the layout of the ER like it's your favorite taco place. The more familiar you are with your surroundings, the smoother your calls and your crew's sanity will be. And when things go sideways, they will. Follow the chain of command. Got a conflict with a partner? Gear missing? Protocol confusion? Don't take it to Facebook. Take it to your supervisor, your FTO, or the next person up the ladder. Not everything needs to be a dramatic showdown in the station kitchen. EMS is a team sport, and knowing how to navigate the internal system makes you not just a good provider, but a professional one. Learn the system, play it smart, and you'll earn respect faster than you can say 10 to 8 or in service.
I'm gonna be right back.
What? Dude, you gotta drive faster. Wait, why? Because I'm gonna crap my pants.
You're part of something bigger. Or you're not just riding in an ambulance, you're holding the line. So here you are, gear packed, gloves on, radio chirping, and that faint smell of antiseptic and adrenaline in the air. You've made it. You're not just a new EMT, you're now a vital part of emergency medicine. Every time the tones drop, someone is counting on you. You're the calm voice in chaos, the steady hands during panic, the one who shows up when no one else knows what to do. You're not a background character in healthcare, you're the first scene. And that matters more than you know. Take pride in the work you do. Even the boring calls matter. That lift assist, that transport to dialysis, that confused grandma who just needed reassurance, they're all someone's loved one. You're not just doing tasks, you're providing comfort, stability, and sometimes a second chance. You're writing stories people will never forget, even if they don't remember your name. And finally, stay safe, stay sharp, and welcome to EMS. Buckle up, literally and metaphorically. This career will challenge you, humble you, and make you laugh at the most inappropriate times. You'll cry, you'll grow, and you'll carry moments with you for life. But through it all, remember, you are needed. You are valued. You are part of something bigger than any one call, one shift, or one job title. So go out there, own your patch, and make a difference. One patient, one scene, and one weird, unforgettable shift at a time. Welcome to the family. We hope this video helped ease some of the nerves that come with being new to EMS. You've got this. Remember, we often meet people on the worst day of their lives, and in those moments, they'll be looking to you for help. Keep a clear head, stay calm, and continue learning, growing, and adapting. That's what makes a great EMS provider. Stay safe out there, and never hesitate to reach out if there's anything we can do to support your journey in EMS.